In this session of TS Academy, we will talk about interview. What is interview? If we break the term interview into two words, it will be inter and view, where inter means between and view means opinion, vision, ideas. So together, interview means exchange of view or opinion between each other. Definition of interview. Simply, interview is a question and answer session between the interviewer and the interviewee. Interview can also be defined as an exchange of information, ideas between two or more people within a formal or a casual setting. It has a purpose. It is a planned conversation between two or more people with a purpose to get maximum information. Now, who is an interviewer and who is an interviewee? One who answers your question is interviewee, and one who asks the question is interviewer. Now, there are different types of interview: casual interview, personality interview, news interview, telephonic interview, entertainment interview, mail interview, grabbed interview, adversarial interview, vox pop interview, investigative interview, and interpretative interview. Now, what is a casual interview? As the name suggests, casual interview is a casual interaction that takes place between the interviewer and the interviewee. Here, the interviewer doesn't have a formal set of questions which he has prepared to be asked. It's just a chance interview which takes place in a very casual setting, like over a coffee or a dinner. What is a personal interview? In this interview, the objective of the interviewer is to know more about the interviewee, who is maybe a prominent personality in society. The focus is to know about their life, their background, their hobbies, their interests, maybe some interesting incident. It is generally written to write down personality features about the prominent persons. What is a news interview? It is a very short, to the point news interview where the reporter goes on to the field where the event has taken place or the incident has taken place and asks the pertinent questions to the victim, the eyewitnesses, the police officials, and get an input from them and formulates a hard news out of it. It is generally a viewpoint of the victim, police officer, medical staff, eyewitness who are part of that event. By event, I mean part of that incident that took place, which has news value, and it is immediately disseminated to the world. Now, what is a telephonic interview? Some interviews do not take place face to face. They are taken over a telephone. So, since the medium to ask the question is telephone, the name is telephonic interview. It is generally taken when the interviewer and the interviewee are at far off places. What is a mail interview? The interview which is conducted via email is known as mail interview. Here, the questions are mailed to the interviewee who sends the answer by reverting back to the mail. There is no limit or scope to cross-question and follow-up question. It doesn't have a personal touch as well. Evaluation interview. Evaluation interview takes place on, say, annual basis or over a period which is regularly set to measure the progress of the interviewee. The main objective is to find the strength and weakness of the individual in particular or brand in general in the industry where it stands or how the progress has taken place in, say, past 1 year. Adversarial interview. Adversarial interview involves two or more people who have an opposing viewpoint or an opinion regarding an event or an issue. It means a head-on clash takes place between the interviewer and the interviewee, where interviewee is behind the interviewer to get his questions answered. Investigative interview. This is conducted to extract in-depth and accurate information from the parties who are involved in an event or an issue. It basically aims to gather information from accused, victims, eyewitnesses, police, etc., so that the accurate, reliable information is extracted from them without any omission or distortion. This interview plays a very important role in breaking an investigative story and establishing the credibility of the journalist and the organization as a whole. Interpretative interview. It is all about response interview, either for or against a particular issue, or the description or the explanation of an event, incident, action is an interpretative interview. You interpret the event. Say if the Prime Minister has addressed the nation about something, you're interpreting what he means, what is behind the lines. You ask the expert and try to understand their point of view or interpretation of what PM has just said. Entertainment interview. It is generally taken on a lighter note, is very entertaining, and objective is to see the real life of the real life heroes. Emotional interview. It is conducted to understand the feeling of a person who was a victim, an eyewitness, or shared a personal tragedy or achievement. Next type of interview is a vox pop interview. It is the voice of the people or man on the street interview. It is conducted in order to get the viewpoint of the cross section of society on a particular event or an issue. It helps the interviewer to get variety of opinions on the same issue. It's just like a reaction interview which you take from the common man representing different cross section of society so that their viewpoint get a platform to be heard and seen by the people. Grabbed interview. It is a very short and brief interview where the reporter hijacks the person who is escaping to face the questions fired at him. Generally, it's a no comment kind of an interview. Thank you. Please share, subscribe, and comment.